A warehouse supervisor in Tennessee spent $11,000 on a Harley Davidson in 2023. 12 months later, he had spent $3,000 on service fees and dealer maintenance. He was spending more keeping it running than riding it. But here's what nobody has ever told you. 12 motorcycles exist in 2026 that deliver everything Harley promises at a fraction of what Harley charges. Today, I'm revealing all 12, what they cost, what they deliver, and exactly why experienced riders are quietly making the switch. Let's get started. The Harley Davidson Sportster S. The historic Sportster lineage defined accessible American motorcycling for 6 decades. Harley Davidson retired that heritage to build the Sportster S. The engineering relies on the revolution. Max 1250T engine. It is a liquid-cooled 60-degree V-twin producing 121 horsepower. It features variable valve timing, which advances and retards the camshaft profiles based on engine speed to optimize volumetric efficiency across the entire power band. It utilizes complex hydraulic lifters designed to chase high RPM horsepower rather than low-end grunt. The dealerships exploit the iconic name to trap consumers. The base manufacturer suggested retail price sits around $17,000, but the dealerships tack on heavy freight surcharges, assembly fees, and steep market adjustment markups. By the time the ink dries on the financing contract, you are paying well over $20,000 for an entry-level cruiser. The mechanical reality features significant design compromises. Harley Davidson engineered a microscopic 3.1-gallon fuel tank. If you ride with a heavy throttle hand, the engine drains the fuel completely dry in under 100 miles. You become permanently tethered to the gas station, scanning the horizon for the next fuel pump. The suspension travel presents a problem for street riding. The rear shock possesses a microscopic 3.5 inches of vertical travel. Every single crack, pothole, and pebble on the asphalt transfers firmly through the rigid chassis and directly into your lumbar spine, requiring serious endurance during a long Sunday ride. The Sportster S is an overpriced, stiff riding exercise in modern marketing. But what if the Japanese engineered a superior liquid-cooled muscle cruiser using a Dakar-winning engine block for thousands less? Prepare for the first replacement. Alternative 1, the Honda Rebel 1100. Honda witnessed Harley Davidson price themselves out of the entry-level market and unleashed a mechanical precision tool. The Honda Rebel 1100 utilizes the exact same unicam, parallel twin engine pulled directly from their elite Dakar-winning Africa Twin Adventure motorcycle. This specific engine architecture utilizes a single overhead camshaft to actuate 4 valves per cylinder. This design choice saves amounts of weight high in the chassis, lowering the center of gravity and making the motorcycle feel incredibly light when lifting it off the side stand. It produces reliable, tractable torque through a 270-degree crankshaft. This uneven firing order creates mechanical traction pulses that grip the asphalt and mimic the exhaust note of a V-twin. Honda engineered a unicast steel tubular frame that hides its weight brilliantly. The handling is razor sharp. It leans much further into mountain corners than the Sportster S could ever dream of before scraping hard parts. Furthermore, Honda offers their proprietary dual-clutch transmission. This system utilizes 2 separate mechanical clutches, one for the even gears and one for the odd gears. You can shift gears manually via electronic paddle shifters, or let the aerospace-grade computer execute flawless, millisecond shifts automatically in heavy urban traffic. The current market value for a pristine, used Honda Rebel 1100 sits firmly around $8,000. You acquire Dakar-winning engine architecture, selectable riding modes, and Honda reliability for less than half the out-the-door price of the Harley. The Rebel masters automatic efficiency and budget pricing. But what if you demand authentic American heritage, a cast aluminum frame, and a full 100 horsepower screaming toward the red line? The next alternative changes the rules. Alternative 2, the Indian Scout Bobber. Polaris Industries engineered a direct competitor to the modern Sportster. The Indian Scout bobber utilizes a 1,133 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin. While Harley Davidson abandoned their traditional aesthetics for a futuristic flat-track look, Indian preserved the low-slung, stripped-down bobber silhouette while injecting it with modern liquid-cooled horsepower and dual overhead camshafts. The Scout engine produces exactly 100 horsepower. It screams toward a 8,000 revolutions per minute redline, delivering a strong top-end rush that traditional air-cooled cruisers simply cannot replicate. The engineers utilized a highly rigid cast aluminum frame instead of cheap flexing steel tubing. This structural design provides unshakable straight-line stability and laser-guided cornering precision. When you push the Scout into a tight, sweeping corner, the cast aluminum frame refuses to flex, keeping the chassis perfectly tracking on your chosen line. The used market is heavily stocked with pristine Indian Scouts. You can easily acquire this liquid-cooled American masterpiece for $9,000. You get authentic American heritage, superior frame rigidity, and horsepower while entirely bypassing the Harley tax. The Scout redefines American muscle on a budget. But what happens when we look at the heavyweight cruiser class, where a famous Hollywood icon hides severe handling flaws behind solid metal wheels? Let us examine the next bike, the Harley Davidson Fatboy 114. The Fatboy operates as a rolling Hollywood prop. It gained cultural notoriety in the early 1990s cinema, and Harley Davidson uses that cinematic nostalgia to maintain premium pricing. It utilizes the Milwaukee 8 114 cubic inch engine. It is a AIR and oil-cooled block vibrating inside a rigid Softail chassis, utilizing dual counterbalancers to tame the primary shake. The price tag requires serious capital. The base price starts around $22,000. Add the mandatory dealership prep fees, the inflated freight costs, and the heavy chrome accessory packages, and you are financing $28,000 for a motorcycle that actively fights your steering input in every single corner. The mechanical flaws are visual and structural. The engineers bolted on solid Lakester disc aluminum wheels. These solid wheels act exactly like giant metal sails. When a heavy crosswind hits the motorcycle on the open interstate, the wind leverages against the solid wheels and forcefully attempts to sweep the entire motorcycle out of its lane, requiring constant steering correction from the rider. Furthermore, they wrap the front wheel in a steamroller-sized 160mm front tire. This rubber footprint creates significant steering inertia and heavy gyroscopic precession. Forcing the Fatboy to change direction on a winding road requires immense, exhausting upper body strength. The Fatboy is a heavy, cumbersome, cinematic prop. But what happens when foreign engineers decide to build muscle cruisers that outrun the Fatboy at the stoplight, drag strip, and cost pennies on the dollar? Do not blink. Alternative 3, the Suzuki Boulevard M109. Here, Suzuki looked at the American muscle cruiser market and engineered a heavyweight weapon. The M109R houses a 1,783 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled 54-degree V-twin. The forged aluminum pistons inside this Japanese monster measure 112 millimeters across. They are physically larger than the pistons found in a Dodge Viper V10 engine. It produces a staggering 118 pound-feet of torque. It transfers that strong power to the 240 millimeter rear tire through a highly durable enclosed shaft drive. The shaft drive utilizes heavy-duty bevel gears bathed in high-point oil. There are no rubber belts to snap and no steel chains to lubricate or adjust. The engineers bolted on inverted front forks and radial mount brake calipers pulled directly from the GSXR Superbike program. The suspension absorbs kinetic shock with surgical precision, offering sport bike-level damping on a heavyweight cruiser. The depreciation favors the used buyer heavily. Dealerships frequently discount them because they do not fit the traditional cruiser mold. You can buy a pristine, low-mileage M109R for $7,000. You pay a fraction of the Harley price for a liquid-cooled monster that embarrasses the Fatboy at every single green light. The Suzuki delivers unmatched V-twin torque. But what if you demand an engine so it physically twists the chassis when you blip the throttle, abandoning the V-twin layout entirely? Prepare for the largest engine on Earth. Alternative 4, the Triumph Rocket 3R. You demand a machine so aggressively it redefines the power cruiser category. Triumph engineered the Rocket 3. They completely ignored the traditional V-twin architecture and bolted in a longitudinally mounted inline triple engine. It displaces an earth-shattering 2,500 cubic centimeters. It produces 163 pound-feet of torque at a low 4,000 revolutions per minute. Because the steel crankshaft spins front to back, revving the engine creates a heavy gyroscopic torquey reaction that physically pulls the motorcycle to the right at a standstill. The engineers utilized a high-tensile cast aluminum frame, an aerospace-grade single-sided swing arm that leaves the rear wheel fully exposed, and fully adjustable Showa suspension. It features cornering anti-lock brakes and an advanced 6-axis inertial measurement unit to keep the rear tire from spinning out of control. While a brand new Rocket 3 commands a premium, the slightly older 2.3-liter generation can be hunted down on the used market for $8,000. You acquire the absolute largest production motorcycle engine on planet Earth for the exact price of a used economy car. The Rocket 3 dominates the displacement wars. But what if your mission involves long-distance touring, heavy luggage, and fairings? The next Harley Davidson is the undisputed king of highway peer pressure, the Harley Davidson Street Glide. The quintessential American bagger. Dealerships sell the Street Glide based entirely on brand conformity and club styling. It features the iconic fork-mounted batwing fairing, dual hard saddlebags, and the heavy Milwaukee 8 117 cubic inch engine. The financial reality requires a budget. Dealerships rarely negotiate on popular baggers. With the premium metallic paint options, the upgraded touchscreen infotainment packages, and the heavy loan interest rates, consumers routinely walk out the door. Owing $35,000, you are financing the equivalent of a luxury automobile for a machine that utilizes standard telescopic forks and primitive rear emulsion shocks. The aerodynamic geometry is severely compromised. The iconic batwing fairing is physically bolted directly to the front steering forks. When a heavy blast of dirty air from a passing semi-truck hits the fairing, the wind leverages against the plastic surface area and shakes the handlebars. You must physically fight the wind blast with your shoulders and arms for the entire journey, inducing upper body fatigue. Furthermore, the air-cooled engine traps significant thermal heat directly beneath the rider. In heavy summer traffic, the rear cylinder header pipe radiates intense heat directly onto your right thigh. The Street Glide is aerodynamically compromised and carries a steep markup. But what if rival manufacturers engineered heavily superior touring baggers with frame-mounted stability and liquid-cooled reliability for a fraction of the cost? The Japanese factories have the ultimate solution. Alternative 5, the Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. Kawasaki engineered a pragmatic alternative to the batwing aerodynamic trap. The Vulcan Vaquero delivers the aggressive, slammed bagger aesthetic, but utilizes highly superior Japanese engineering. The imposing front fairing is frame-mounted. It bolts directly to the main steel steering neck, completely isolating the aerodynamic wind blast from the steering assembly. The handlebars remain smooth and stable at triple-digit speeds, preventing rider fatigue. The engine is a 1,700 cubic centimeter V-twin. But unlike the Harley, Kawasaki utilized a highly advanced liquid cooling system. They hid the aluminum radiator between the front steel frame rails. The engine refuses to overheat, regardless of the ambient temperature or the slow stop-and-go traffic conditions. Kawasaki also equipped the Vaquero with K-ACT-linked braking technology, utilizing aerospace-grade microprocessors to balance braking force perfectly between the front and rear wheels, preventing lockups on wet, treacherous mountain passes. The used market frequently overlooks Kawasaki baggers. You can easily secure a heavily equipped Vaquero for $8,000. You get liquid cooling, frame-mounted aerodynamic stability, and hard bags for pocket change. The Vaquero solves the aerodynamic issues flawlessly. But what if you still demand American heritage, an air-cooled V-twin, and superior cast aluminum handling? The rival American factory built a direct competitor. Alternative 6. The Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. Polaris Industries attacked the Street Glide directly. The Indian Chieftain Dark Horse utilizes the thunderous Thunderstroke 116 cubic inch V-twin engine. It produces a 126 pound-feet of torque that pulls heavily from the bottom of the rev range. Indian engineered superior thermal management to solve the air-cooled heat problem. The sophisticated engine computer features rear cylinder deactivation. When you stop at a red light in heavy traffic, the computer automatically shuts off fuel and spark to the rear cylinder, preventing the engine from roasting your legs. The engine operates on the front cylinder alone to maintain a steady idle. The exact moment you twist the throttle, the rear cylinder re-engages seamlessly. Furthermore, Indian abandoned the heavy steel frame architecture. The Chieftain utilizes a highly advanced multi-piece cast aluminum frame. This drastically reduces the top-heavy mass and provides elite cornering clearance. The used market offers pristine Chieftain Dark Horse models for $15,000. You acquire superior cast aluminum handling, intelligent thermal electronics, and menacing blacked-out American heritage for $10,000 less than the Harley equivalent. The Chieftain masters the American bagger formula. But what happens when Harley Davidson attempts to build a tall, off-road capable machine filled with complex electronics? The adventure segment reveals an experiment. The Harley Davidson Pan America 1250. Harley Davidson attempted to infiltrate the highly lucrative adventure touring market to capture a new demographic. They engineered the Pan America. It utilizes the liquid-cooled Revolution Max engine and features a heavy steel trellis frame, ground clearance, and an entire suite of complex electronic rider aids. The dealerships position it as a premium European killer, demanding over $22,000 for the special edition, loaded with the heavy aluminum luggage and the wire-spoked wheels. The highly marketed adaptive ride height system, which electronically lowers the suspension when you stop to help short riders touch the ground, adds weight, immense mechanical complexity, and a significant failure point. The complex pneumatic pump introduces severe mechanical vulnerabilities to the chassis. When this highly sensitive system malfunctions in the middle of a remote dirt trail, you lose your vital suspension adjustability, turning a rugged, reliable machine into a frustrating, over-engineered nightmare. Furthermore, the top-heavy gravitational mass makes picking up the dropped machine in deep sand a severe physical challenge for a solo rider. The Pan America is an unproven, highly expensive, complex machine. But what if you demand the pinnacle of Japanese off-road dominance, lightweight agility, and proven reliability? The machines hiding at alternatives 7 and 8 conquer the globe safely. Alternative 7. The Honda Africa Twin CRF 1100. Honda relies on decades of grueling Dakar rally dominance. The Africa Twin is a precise scalpel compared to the Pan America sledgehammer. Honda engineered a compact, 1,084 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, featuring a 270-degree crank. It provides tractable, low-end mechanical grip in deep mud, preventing the rear tire from spinning out of control on loose surfaces. Honda kept the gravitational weight drastically lower. The chassis is a highly engineered semi-double cradle steel frame designed to flex slightly under off-road impacts, absorbing kinetic energy and preventing the chassis from snapping under stress. The suspension features fully adjustable. Showa inverted forks boasting over 9 inches of plush travel. The Africa Twin navigates deep sand, rocky single-track trails, and river crossings with ease. The used market is packed with proven, fully equipped Africa Twin models for $10,000. You acquire Dakar-winning heritage, unmatched off-road balance, and proven Japanese reliability for literally half the price of the Pan America. The Africa Twin is an off-road weapon. But what if you demand an adventure bike primarily for destroyed city asphalt, cross-country highway touring, and absolute low-maintenance pragmatism, the next Suzuki is a utilitarian legend. Alternative 8, the Suzuki V-Strom 1050. You demand an adventure bike built for high-mileage road touring and light gravel paths. Suzuki built the ultimate utilitarian workhorse. The V-Strom utilizes the legendary, highly proven 1,037 cubic centimeter, liquid-cooled 90-degree V-twin engine. This specific engine architecture has remained largely unchanged for 20 years because it is mechanically excellent. The 90-degree layout possesses perfect primary balance, meaning it produces zero uncomfortable vibrations at high highway speeds without needing heavy internal counterbalancers. It produces strong mid-range torque and requires minimal maintenance. Suzuki wrapped the engine in a highly rigid twin-spar cast aluminum frame. While it lacks the extreme off-road suspension travel of the Africa Twin, the rigid aluminum frame makes the V-Strom an exceptional canyon carving machine on the pavement. The V-Strom suffers from heavy market depreciation. You can locate fully loaded V-Strom 1050 models, complete with aluminum panniers and heavy-duty crash bars, for $8,000. It is the smartest, most pragmatic touring investment on the used market. The V-Strom masters the paved adventure. But what if we return to the cruiser world, where Harley Davidson strips away all the features, but keeps the price tag incredibly high? Prepare for the bare-bones entry-level trap. The Harley Davidson Street Bob 114. Harley Davidson markets the Street Bob as the raw, stripped-down, entry-level canvas for custom builders. It features the Milwaukee 8 114 engine bolted into the standard Softail chassis. It completely lacks aerodynamic fairings, utilizes microscopic digital gauges integrated directly into the handlebar riser, and features classic wire-spoked wheels that require internal rubber tubes. The financial proposition is steep. Harley Davidson strips away all the expensive touring equipment, provides a microscopic, uncomfortable pillion pad, and still demands over $18,000 out the door. You are paying a heavy premium for a motorcycle entirely devoid of modern touring features. The ergonomics create a skeletal challenge. Harley equips the Street Bob with aggressive mini-ape hanger handlebars. These bars force your hands high into the rushing highway wind. After 50 miles, the wind blast numbs your fingers and sends sharp fatigue directly down your shoulder blades, compressing your cervical spine. The mid-mounted foot pegs cramp your knees, creating an incredibly confined rider triangle that severely punishes anyone over 6 feet tall. The Street Bob is a pricey, uncomfortable marketing exercise. But what if you truly desire the authentic, stripped-down bobber aesthetic, but demand flawless reliability and a completely reasonable price tag? The replacements at 9 and 10 are exceptional values. Alternative 9, the Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. Yamaha analyzed the American Sportster and bobber market and engineered a flawless mechanical clone that functions better than the original. The Yamaha Bolt utilizes a 942 cubic centimeter air-cooled 60-degree V-twin engine. Yamaha rejected liquid cooling on this specific model to maintain the authentic, fin-cylinder heritage aesthetic. The engineering is remarkably pragmatic and simple. It transfers power through a smooth, maintenance-free belt drive. The R-Spec model features upgraded twin piggyback remote reservoir rear shocks that provide significantly better damping, rebound control, and ride comfort than the harsh Harley suspension. The incredibly low 27-inch seat height and narrow fuel tank make it highly manageable for entry-level riders, navigating tight urban environments and low-speed parking lots. The Yamaha Bolt is the ultimate hidden gem. Dealerships frequently discount them heavily. You can easily purchase a pristine, low-mileage Yamaha Bolt for $4,000. You acquire authentic air-cooled V-twin heritage and Japanese reliability for absolute pocket change. The Bolt delivers raw V-twin simplicity. But what if you demand classic vintage British heritage wrapped in a highly capable, entry-level cruiser package featuring a parallel twin engine? The next machine disrupted the entire market. Alternative 10, the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 You demand vintage British heritage wrapped in a modern, reliable package. Royal Enfield completely disrupted the global middleweight market with the Super Meteor 650. It utilizes a beautifully engineered 648 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled parallel twin engine. The engine possesses a 270-degree firing order, delivering a deep, satisfying mechanical rumble. But the true engineering masterpiece is the chassis. Royal Enfield partnered with Harris Performance, an elite racing frame fabricator, to design the steel tubular spine frame. The chassis handles with remarkable stability at highway speeds. They bolted on inverted Showa front forks and bi-bree brake calipers to ensure modern stopping power and front-end rigidity. The price is the ultimate feature. You can purchase a brand new Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650 straight from the showroom floor for $7,000. You bypass the sketchy used market entirely, receive a comprehensive factory warranty, and acquire gorgeous vintage styling for a fraction of the street bob price. The Super Meteor redefines the entry-level cruiser segment. But what happens when we look at the absolute top tier of the touring world, where weight and price tags reach astronomical levels? The final Harley Davidson is a rolling fortress. The Harley Davidson Road Glide Limited. The Road Glide Limited represents the zenith of Harley-Davidson XS. It is a transcontinental behemoth designed specifically to cross the entire American interstate system. It features the iconic frame-mounted shark nose fairing, a giant tour-pack luggage trunk capable of holding weeks of gear, integrated heated grips for freezing high-altitude passes, and the highly advanced, liquid-cooled Milwaukee 8V VT117 engine. The engineers built this machine to consume endless highway miles while shielding the rider from wind fatigue. The financial commitment is immense, with standard dealership markups, premium two-tone paint options that cost thousands extra, upgraded touchscreen audio packages, and heavy documentation fees. Consumers are routinely financing well over $40,000. You are taking on significant, long-term debt for a recreational vehicle that depreciates the moment the tires touch the street. The monthly payments rival the mortgage on a small house, forcing riders into 84-month contracts just to afford the baseline touring experience. The gravitational mass is a serious liability. The Road Glide Limited weighs a staggering 932 pounds fully fueled. The structural mass sits incredibly high on the chassis, creating a dangerous center of gravity. If the rider encounters off-camber pavement, loose gravel in a parking lot, or stops suddenly on a steep incline, the top-heavy mass will heavily pull the motorcycle to the asphalt. Once a 900-pound machine leans past 20 degrees, human muscle cannot stop it from tipping over. You are entirely at the mercy of kinetic physics. The Road Glide Limited is an incredibly expensive, top-heavy machine that traps buyers in debt. But what if the touring mission requires transcontinental luxury, cavernous luggage capacity, and premium passenger comfort, but requires elite aerospace engineering and perfect chassis balance? The final two machines are the undisputed kings of the continent. Alternative 11, the Honda Goldwing Tour. Honda completely rewrote the rules of luxury touring. They abandoned the heavy primitive steel frames and engineered a rigid cast aluminum twin-spar chassis. The Goldwing utilizes an immortal 1,833 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled, horizontally opposed flat-six engine. Because the flat-six engine sits perfectly horizontally across the frame, the center of gravity is essentially located on the asphalt. The Goldwing hides its weight flawlessly. At low parking lot speeds, it handles like a lightweight sports bike. The engine produces zero primary vibration. It is smoother than a luxury sedan. Honda revolutionized the suspension geometry. They removed the traditional telescopic front forks and installed an advanced double wishbone front suspension system. This complex mechanical linkage completely isolates the handlebars from heavy road impacts and eliminates front-end dive under heavy braking. Furthermore, you can equip the Goldwing with a highly advanced 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, featuring an electric walking mode and reverse gear for effortless parking on inclines. The depreciation works in your favor. You can hunt down a previous generation, fully loaded Honda Goldwing for $10,000. You acquire million-mile reliability, flat six perfection, and superior handling dynamics for savings. The Goldwing is a flat six masterpiece. But what if you demand the absolute pinnacle of European luxury, an inline six engine, and high-speed Autobahn supremacy? The final alternative is a technological spaceship. Alternative 12, the BMW K16 100 Grand America. You demand the absolute pinnacle of European luxury and high-speed touring capability. BMW engineered a technological marvel. The K1600 houses a mind-bending 1,649 cubic centimeter inline six-cylinder engine. The inline six engine produces a strong 160 horsepower and screams toward the red line with a turbine-like exhaust howl. BMW loaded the machine with aerospace electronics. It features electronically adjustable dynamic suspension, full LED headlights with adaptive illumination that look through the corners based on lean angle, radar-assisted cruise control, and an immense TFT digital dashboard. The suspension utilizes the elite dual-lever front end and paralever rear drive, isolating the chassis from kinetic shock and providing unmatched high-speed stability while preventing the chassis from pitching forward during aggressive braking. While a brand new BMW is highly expensive, the complex luxury market suffers from steep depreciation. You can locate slightly older K1600 models for $12,000. You acquire a 160 horsepower inline six, unmatched European technology, and supreme highway capability for a fraction of the Harley Road Glide price. If this deep dive saved you from making a catastrophic financial mistake or helped you discover your ultimate dream cruiser, hit that subscribe button and tell me exactly which of these 12 beasts belongs in your garage down in the comments. But knowing which bike to buy is only the first step. The motorcycle industry is hiding even more massive secrets that will bleed your wallet dry if you continue to ride blind. I expose the next major trap you absolutely must avoid right here on the screen. Click that right now to protect your cash. Keep the rubber side down, and I will see you over there.